This week on Safari with Brent, we're going to be focusing on one of Africa's most threatened and iconic animals, the cheetah. We are lucky enough to be able to follow two cheetahs, a male and a female, on Leadwood Big Game Estate. We're going to be looking and delving deeper into the life of the beautiful female. Well, good start to the morning. We started off looking for female cheetah and we've just found the male cheetah, but it looks like he's tracking her. He's sniffing her where she was, and he's looking a bit confused because he's come in from the south. And as we spotted him, monkeys were alarm calling in the trees. That's how we found him. As we were following him, I could see the female cheetah tracks heading south. So he's come in the wrong direction looking for love this morning, but maybe he figures it out and starts heading in the right direction. VM is of course busy doing his magic. Next to me. Morning, VM.
What's up?
It's been an early start. Woke up at about 5:15.
We had no coffee.
And we had no coffee. VM is very upset we had no coffee. That could be my bad, because I don't drink coffee, I drink tea. Whoops. And the wildebeest can be grumpy without his coffee. We're back on Leadwood Big Game Estate, which forms part of the Rietspruit Game Reserve, and we're very excited to showcase this uniquely beautiful part of Africa and the secret lives of the big cats that call this part of Africa home. Our female cheetah arrived quite dramatically. She was supposed to arrive at around 4 p.m, but ended up arriving around midnight. We were incredibly lucky to be there on site with the team from Endangered Wildlife Trust, who brought her all the way from KwaZulu-Natal, and PaintedDog.tv were there to see her first steps out into the Rietspruit Game Reserve. As soon as we slid the gate of that crate open, she couldn't wait to shoot out into her new home. And 3 months ago, her collar showed that she was very close to the male for a few days, and we're hoping that that means that there are going to be little cheetahs wandering Leadwood shortly.
So Endangered Wildlife Trust coordinates the cheetah meta population in South Africa. Vincent van der Merwe, who kind of heads up the program and the introduction, oversees the whole thing, and it's now been separated into clusters. So there's a number of reserves across the country. The meta population currently has 58 cheetah reserves across the country, 10 of which are in the Lowveld, and Rietspruit then forms one of those reserves across the country. And effectively what it is that a single isolated population of cheetah is not large enough to be sustainable. But if a whole lot of small isolated populations are managed as a single population genetically, then they can be a viable population. So as I say, 58 reserves across the country, which equates to 350 individual cheetah in that population. But there's limitations in natural gene flow because of the isolation of these reserves. So we have to mimic that natural natural gene flow or movement from one area to the next artificially, and that's where the introduction of cheetah, both for genetic purposes and for then the range expansion and the increase in the population, comes in. And that's a managed metapopulation, so man-managed. We implement that management technique to ensure that the population is genetically viable. And it's been incredibly successful within South Africa, in that South Africa's cheetah population is the only population globally that's actually increasing. So the IUCN regarded the population to have increased from around 450 individuals in 1975 to just over 1,200 individuals in 2016, which the last census was done. So South Africa is the only population which is increasing, and not only in numbers but also in genetic diversity, as well as in availability of space, safe space. And a reserve like Rietspruit adds then the opportunity for a new population of cheetahs to thrive, where this male and female introduced onto Rietspruit then gives the opportunity for her to produce cubs, and then obviously contributing towards the conservation of cheetah globally, as a globally endangered species.
Now, if you remember what Grant said last week, you need about 1,000 individuals in a population to maintain genetic health. So Endangered Wildlife Trust, along with their partners and stuff, have done an incredible job that now the cheetah population in South Africa is actually over 1,000 individuals.
Yes.
So that's great work, and remember to have a look in the link below, because EWT always needs your help. They are a non-profit organization, and they are doing some of the most important work in conserving some of the most endangered species that we love in Africa. So there's a link below on how to donate and how you can help EWT increase cheetah, wild dog, and the other species that they are focusing on. Okay, so we've done some crashing and bashing and followed the telemetry. We knew this cheetah was close, and it looks like he's actually feeding on something. You can see Vim's getting ready behind me, getting the camera out. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet, where we're going to place the camera, but there's a nice little open patch here where we're going to try get in to see what he's eating. Just trying to see, let's go around this way. Looks like he's eating something. Just gonna try to find a route through. I think we need to try to go around them. Can you get a shot from here? There or forward? So, our first cat on a kill since we've been on Rietspruit Game Reserve. Isn't this exciting? Fortunately, we're a bit late to see him actually hunt and catch, but we've got him feeding. So we got some very, very exciting news this week. Now, you've just seen that male cheetah feasting upon a baby impala, and he's become a dad. And we got this news as we're trying to wrap up this episode. So we've been desperately trying to get a view of those cubs. They're still so small, their eyes are closed. So we've got to be very, very careful how we approach that den site. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to get a visual of them yet. But my mom and dad were the first people to see them, and they've given us a tiny little clip, not the best quality, but you can hear the little tew that sounds like a bird. That's actually a baby cheetah chirp, and it's going to be very exciting. We're going to be out this week, all week, looking for them again, and hopefully we're going to be able to have an update later in this week about how many cubs. We know there's one definitely. We're hoping there's a few more. Her last litter in the reserve where she came from was 4 cubs, so let's keep our fingers crossed that they're 4 tiny little baby cheetah on Leadwood Big Game Estate. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Safari with Brent. It's been an absolute joy to make it, and keep your questions coming. Later in the week we're going to answer those questions, but remember to share PaintedDog.tv, the YouTube channel, subscribe, send it to your grannies, your aunties, your uncles, everyone you know. Get them to subscribe to PaintedDog.tv. If you've got some spare change lying around, remember you can help the cheetahs, wild dogs and other endangered species in South Africa by donating to the Endangered Wildlife Trust. How to do that is in the link below this video.